Behold the Source Wall. Behind it is the single greatest secret of the universe. This is as far as I dare to go.
As far as I dare to go. We made it.
Beyond the Source Wall.
We are beyond the Source Wall. We are in the ninth world, or whatever the hell Grant Morrison was talking about. And we are here to watch Zack Snyder's Justice League today in 3 parts. So if you guys are watching this, first there's going to be a little bit of intro where Alex and I are going to talk about briefly, about 10, 15 minutes worth about the previous movies that are kind of lead up to this and the previous Justice League movie. And then we'll probably still give our thoughts on that stuff in more detail through the course of this movie. But this will be our first time watching it. So we'll talk a little bit about what we hope we see in it as well. And we're going to do this in 3 parts. So if you're watching this episode, this is part 1. We're going to cover parts 1 and 2 of the movie, because I guess there's chapters in it. So at the end of part 2, we're going to wrap up the stream, give our thoughts on, what the first 2 parts are and what we thought of them. And then we'll take a 20-minute break. So we'll cut the stream, and then we'll have another episode pop up later on after this, where we watch episodes or parts 3 and 4 of this. And then finally, our 3rd episode will cover parts 5, 6, and whatever's after that. So yeah, Alex, first of all, let me start by saying that yesterday Alex was on the phone with me while I did some of this too. I went hunting for Justice League comic books because a new issue of Justice League came out, written by Brian Michael Bendis, and it had variant covers that were done at the last minute, apparently. And so not every comic store had a bunch of them or could order a ton of them, apparently. So we had a Jim Lee cover. Let me just do this. Yeah, there we go. A Jim Lee cover with Aquaman, Wonder Woman, and Martian Manhunter on it. Then we also have a Lee Bermejo cover, the fabulous Lee Bermejo, with Darkseid, Black Suited Superman, and Flash on the cover. And then the one I couldn't find at the first store, and I had to drive like 35 minutes to a second store to get, which is the Liam Sharp cover. Man, I really hate this glare. But you got Batman, Cyborg, and it's the bags. Cyborg, Steppenwolf, and Batman by Liam Sharp. So I went. The book. By the way, I read the book. It sucks. But the
is it the same issue 3 times? Is
yeah,
that what you bought?
Yes, that's exactly what I bought. It's not that great. It has a cool backup story in it though. For Justice League Dark, which was pretty cool. So there was like an 8-page story backup that I kind of liked, but I really didn't care too much about the main story. But yeah, it's basically like a new version of the Justice League, and they get 2 new members, Naomi, which is a character Bendis created, and Black Adam, which I actually think could be kind of cool. So, but I don't think I'm going to read anymore.
I think we're good here.
I'm good. I got the gist of this. It's fine.
You got your variant covers.
Yeah, I just wanted the covers really. But also, as far as this universe goes, so I wasn't with you. I think I was with Omar, and he took me to see Man of Steel opening day, and I went dressed as Superman. I was so excited to see that movie. I bought all the toys for the movie. They were called Movie Masters. I bought all those toys before the movie came out. One of them came with a necklace that had like the Kryptonian key on it, which I have hanging on one of my shelves back here, next to my lantern. And I was like so pumped for that movie, and I walked out like I got my ass kicked. Like I didn't hate the movie. There was just some creative choices in it that really rocked me as a Superman fan. And so let's kind of start with Superman and Batman v Superman, which I did see with you. Real briefly, what were kind of your brief takes of those movies? And and we'll start with those 2 first.
I guess starting with Man of Steel, with both these movies, I started off really liking them. Like that opening sequence on Man of Steel when it's on Krypton.
I love that scene.
It's a great scene. You could have made a whole movie out of that, and I would have watched it. Beautifully designed, beautifully animated, it looked amazing. But as the movie goes on, it really feels like a very... I get they're trying to do like an origin story for Superman.
Right.
But the problem is, he never really does feel like Superman. He always feels like a guy trying to be Superman.
Sure. And I think that's intentional. I think that is intentional.
Yeah, and I think that's... it's admittedly intentional. It's a choice. Right. It's a direction.
Sure.
And I don't know. It just... I struggle with that because it never it never has the hopeful feeling I think you walk away from most Superman stories with. Like, you can read All Star Superman. We watched that recently,
Yeah,
and the ending is him dying, but you're still left with this hope of humanity, and you don't really feel that in Man of Steel. I think it's kind of it's a much grimmer take. It's a much darker take. I get, again, it's a stylistic choice, but it's one that feels just very odd considering the character.
sure.
Overall, it's a beautifully done movie. It looks amazing.
It does look amazing. Yeah.
But moving on to Batman vs Superman, I like it more. Like, every one they do, I progressively like them more.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah.
And for Batman vs Superman, I think the first half hour, I was sitting in the theater with you, and I thought, what is everyone complaining about? This is great. I'm loving this.
It was off to a great start. Yeah.
I thought it was awesome. I was like, I'm excited to see where this goes. Everyone was talking out their butts if they think this is bad.
Right.
And then you started to have like those dream sequences for Bruce Wayne.
Right.
And they confused me. I was like, oh, these are dreams. I was like, what's the point of these? He's having nightmares. Okay.
Right.
It just sort of felt a little disjointed. The climax didn't really go where I thought it was. It's one of those movies. It was my same problem I had with like the Fantastic Four reboot. You don't really have a good sense of like who the villain is or like what the big plot of the villain is until much later in the movie.
Sure.
And I don't know. I like villains that are kind of built up over time. I like someone you see at the beginning and it's sort of a journey with them, paralleled to the main heroes.
Right.
And you just don't see that. I guess you could argue Lex is sort of that, but the big showdown isn't really with Lex. Like if it turned out with Lex in a big mech suit, maybe I could have bought into that a little bit more.
Yeah.
And that could have been, I don't know, that could have been fun. You could have had Lex throwing quips at there, but then they couldn't have done the Death of Superman thing. And I don't know.
You could have. You didn't need Doomsday to kill Superman in that movie. Not really.
I guess not. Do you remember when they killed Superman? Because I do. I remember getting a Superman black armband.
I still have that black armband. Oh yeah.
I do too, somewhere in my house. I have that issue. I had the issue and the armband together.
That comic book is where I learned the term speculator from, because my aunt and uncle were not comic book collectors, but they took me to like 20 different places that sold comics in Jacksonville, Florida, where I lived when that book came out, and they took us around. And this is not my memory of it. This is the story that was told to me.
Yeah.
But they would, after school, pick me up and we went to like all these places to find copies. And they ended up buying like, 30 of the ones in the black bag and like 50 of the ones that are on the newsstand edition. And then they had the comic store edition where it had the barcode on it. And so, yeah, it was, the non-barcode on it. So, yeah, I apparently that was a big moment for most people in the world of comic books.
Yeah, it's sort of like, not to compare it to Marvel, but I remember also being a kid. This was obviously years later when Captain America died after Civil War, and that was sort of my first really big comic book event. And I remember like news stories being run about, the death of Captain America. And I'm sure, was it like that for Superman as well? Did like NBC Nightly News have a Death of Superman segment?
Oh yeah. If I'm not mistaken, all of the writers because there was 4 writers, I think, that wrote the story of the Death of Superman, and then a couple editors, obviously. And if I'm not mistaken, all of them got death threats.
Really?
From parents who were like, "How dare you kill my son's favorite superhero?"
From parents, like some angry soccer mom being like,
"Yeah,
Billy is so distraught. His funny books are tragic now.
It really was.
I demand you bring back."
Yeah, no, it's the thing is, people say all the time, they go like, "Oh, fans are can be very toxic and horrible people and blah blah blah," and it's like, not even like hardcore fans. Like, a lot of these people just know who Superman is, and they were like, "They killed him, those sons of like they got their pitchforks and their fire, and they were just like ready to go. And Louise Simonson, she talked about how she got death threats, and who probably a whole bunch of horrible other things too, because she was the only woman on the whole panel of people that like worked on that. So I'm sure she got it bad from like male fans, and then obviously Dan Jurgens got death threats, and all of them got death threats. And I you got to really watch the documentary of the death of Superman to really enjoy it from a distance. But at the time, it seemed really scary because those writers, they weren't even allowed to go to conventions without security.
Oh wow.
They couldn't even sign at Comic-Con without security. So no, the death of Superman was a big deal. And I think because it was so big, that's kind of my issue with Batman vs. Superman, was that it was handled just kind of like, oh, he's just fighting this giant mindless CG creature. I'm like, which I get it. That was the thing in the book. But also to put it into perspective, like this is my thing with Zack sometimes, is that death was earned in a way because we had already gone through the reboot of Crisis on Infinite Earths, and we had gone through a new origin for Superman, which he did in Man of Steel, which was very much like the John Byrne Superman, where on Krypton, and you say you can watch a whole movie about that. You should watch the show Krypton; it's fantastic. And it's there. Krypton is a race that genetically engineers their next of kin, and Superman is the first natural birth in over centuries, and so. That's from the John Byrne comic book, the Man of Steel comic book. So I always kind of knew what Snyder was pulling from, but to go from Man of Steel and the John Byrne run to right to Death of Superman, I'm like, yeah, but there was like years and years of stuff in between that in the comic books and relationships built and forged and all these things before you got to the death of Superman. And the death of Superman in the comics, everyone just knows it as Doomsday shows up and randomly kills Superman. But it's more than that, because before that in the comics, Superman had killed Zod and his two hench people from another universe. Like he went to another universe and they had killed everyone on Earth. And so Superman was like, all right, he just basically trapped them in a room with kryptonite and they all died. And he felt guilty about that. And the guilt ate him up so much so that he ended up exiling himself to space because he felt like he was no longer Superman. He was no longer worthy to protect Earth because he had broken this moral code that he had. And it's only when he comes back to Earth and is trying to make nice with everyone again that Doomsday shows up. So he kind of sees himself, when you have that context in the Death of Superman, now it's totally changed. He's not just fighting to save humanity. He's fighting to win them back. And it's kind of a neat dynamic in the comics, but the movie is not that neat. It's a little bit messier. So
yeah, the movie it's stylized pretty well, and the action scenes are great, and it's admittedly somewhat fun to watch, but it just feels so disjointed that it kind of struggles to keep my attention, and it kind of brings me out of it. Now, what was your first, like, if you were to say Justice League, the first version we all saw?
Hey, hold on. So we're going to save that because we're already 15 minutes in and I want to start this movie. So at the beginning of the next episode, let's talk about Wonder Woman and Justice League at the beginning of the next episode.
I just want, real quick before we start, us each to give our rating of, like, whatever out of 10 for Justice League, and so we can compare it at the beginning and end.
Let's do that in the next episode, though. I feel like let's give our ratings on Man of Steel and Batman v Superman now, and then in the beginning of the next episode, we'll do Wonder Woman and Justice League.
Okay, that's fine.
Does that make sense? What's your ratings on Man of Steel and Batman v Superman?
This isn't good, but Man of Steel probably like 4 out of 10, and Batman vs Superman like 5 out of 10.
Okay. Mine's not too different, like, because people, I think, assume I hate those movies, but I think I gave Man of Steel a 5 out of 10, and I gave Batman vs. Superman a 6 out of 10. So I was 1 point up on each movie from you. I don't hate them. I'm just like completely down the middle because I love the visuals and I love a lot of that stuff. And like you said, the first half, so the first act or two of the movies, I really like, and they kind of lose me in the last half, both of them. Just with creative choices doesn't mean
they both start very strong.
Yeah, absolutely. And I'm trying to string people along. I want them to watch the next episode now so they can hear what we think about the previous Justice League and Wonder Woman. And then maybe on the third episode, we'll do what you wanted to do. We'll talk about Aquaman and Shazam.
Yeah, the bastard children of
yes.
DC,
the aftermath. The aftermath. Maybe we'll talk about Joker also. I
haven't seen Joker. I never watched Joker.
So we'll skip that one. We'll do that another day. everyone at home, if you want, we're at the 15-minute marker. So we have Zack Snyder's Justice League pulled up here on the HBO Max app. If you have it too, we already played the movie, so it's just at the time code of 00. And we're going to watch, I don't know if it's like the first hour and a half or first hour and something. This is parts 1 and 2 of the movie. So that's what we're going to watch here and react to, and you're going to see our reaction, and we'll discuss and probably talk over parts of the movie too. You won't see any footage of the movie or any audio because obviously copyright reasons and stuff. We want to respect the filmmakers of this, but congratulations real quick before we get started to the fan base that you can't even argue. They made this happen. This movie wouldn't have happened if it wasn't for a ridiculous amount of people, a number I underestimated, to be fair to them. I knew there was a lot of them, but I didn't realize how many people. And then as we got closer to this movie coming out, the fandom just grew, the hype grew. So everyone out there who's been there since 2016, 2017, pushing to release the Snyder Cut, congratulations. If Alex and I say anything that you disagree with, just know we're just giving our opinions on stuff. But if you were a fan of this and wanted this movie for years, you should really not give a shit about our opinions. This movie is for you. And as long as you enjoyed it, that's all that matters. So anything you want to add before we get started, Alex?
No.
No? All right.
Nothing. I'm
all right,
good.
man.
I'm ready to start.
All right. So we're going to do 3, 2, 1. And on 0, we hit play. So here we go. 3, 2, 1. Snyder Cut.
This film is in 4:3.
Max original. Warner Brothers. Yeah. That's a nice, is that a new logo? That's nice looking.
Yeah.
The Warner Brother one. It showed the lot too, the Burbank lot.
That is pretty nice.
It's weird not living next door to that. I gotta say, I live next door.
Yeah, you were like right next door to it.
We were like right next to it. I could almost look out our window and see that water tower from where Kevin and I lived.
Yeah, I remember living in or working in, man, what was it? Like the Burbank WeWorks. Have you ever heard of WeWorks?
Oh yeah, yeah. Mm-hmm.
And I could see the castle.
Yeah.
For Hogwarts, and they would do fireworks shows every day.
Yeah, yeah.
And every day I would watch and see like fireworks shows as I was getting ready to leave work.
Kevin and I could see that too from our balcony sometimes, which was nice.
Real quick, what's your time code?
Oh, yeah, our time code, a minute and 18, 19, 20.
Okay.
Yeah, it looks like, okay, Superman, the Doomsday's claw just came out of him. It says Warner Brother Pictures Presents.
Yeah, that's where I am.
Oh, Superman's, he's yelling. That's a nice shot. I mean, that's the thing is I won't.
This is such a different opening.
Whoa. Yeah, Lois is there. Oh, yeah, okay, so they're redoing the death scene. Wow.
There's Diana crawling away.
She's not crawling away. She's looking back.
Well, I mean, she was crawling away at first.
Don't portray her as weak.
She's a badass. Weak. She's crawling away from like destruction.
Batman's just staring right at it with a gun. Good old Batman carrying guns like he always does.
Yep.
No, that was the gun. That was the one he shot the canisters of kryptonite out in, right? The gas canisters.
Something like that.
I rewatched all the movies recently, but I'm still, my memory's not good.
I have not.
You made fun of me for doing it. You're like, you watched all of them? You didn't watch Shazam? I'm like, Shazam takes place after.
It's just objectively like my favorite.
Yeah, I got you. What I'm excited most about, we didn't talk about that too much, but like what I'm excited most about to see in this movie is to actually learn what Joss shot and what Zack shot. I think that's the one thing I'm super excited to see is to see who did what.
Really? I thought the Joss stuff was pretty evident.
Some of it was. Like, for example,
probably not all of it. Yeah, that's true.
Because I found out the other day, Ray Fisher said every scene in the Joss version was a reshot scene of his character. And I'm like, what?
Oh, really? I didn't know that.
Yeah, he said the only thing that was in it that was 100% this was the scene, I guess, where they talked to Commissioner Gordon on the roof of the police department. So I'm expecting to see a lot more with Cyborg for sure.
I hope there's
Uh,
I hope there's a lot more Superman. I hope they like fix him earlier
yeah,
and
because
he gets like more screen time. Because that was my favorite part of Justice League was at the end when Superman showed up and he was Superman and he was kind of quipping around and
yeah,
he was
yeah,
like
he's having,
helping everyone
yeah,
and I was like, okay, he like feels at least a bit like Superman here. He's like part of the team. I just want to see Superman part of the team.
I gotcha. Well, I mean, I want to see more Superman too because if you look at it, Henry Cavill, he did the first Superman movie, and then his second movie, he had to share a bunch of screen time with Batman and Wonder Woman in his own sequel.
Yeah.
And then now he's dead. So it's like, so even in the team movie, it's like, so yeah. I just feel bad. I'm like, I kind of agree with fans, even though I don't love Man of Steel. We definitely needed a second Man of Steel before we got to this point, I think.
Yeah, or like a movie in between him dying and coming back to life.
Well, that was supposed to be Suicide Squad, which I did not rewatch. And I won't. I do not like that movie.
Yeah, it's not great.
That's my least rated. Well, next to Birds of Prey, they're like my two least favorite ones.
That's the one. Birds of Prey is the Harley Quinn one we saw in theaters, right?
Well, yeah, we saw that together, you and I. Yeah,
I liked that one.
I like it more than Suicide Squad, but that's just how much I dislike Suicide Squad.
Yeah, I really didn't like Suicide Squad either. I would say that is objectively the weakest link. Just felt like a Hot Topic ad.
I don't know what it felt like. It felt like a person who didn't know how to write a screenplay. But I'm sure the screenplay was probably a solid, A to B story that hopefully made more sense than that movie did.
Amber Heard is in this?
Yeah, doesn't she play Mira?
No, I know that, but I forgot if she was in Justice League.
Oh, she had a scene in the Joss version. She was like, the cube gets taken from her, right? One of these cubes.
Oh, I guess so. Yeah.
Oh, all right. Yeah, this is a vastly different tone opening wise. Because
Yeah,
the other one had
very
like,
very different.
what was the other one? Was like Batman like quipping on a roof and capturing a parademon or something.
And
Yeah,
it didn't make any sense to me. That opening, I was like, "What's going on? It's so dark."
yeah.
I like this a lot better so far.
Could you imagine shooting on a location like this, like bringing a crew up to like the mountains? Like I'm sure some of it's like enhanced by CG, but that's not. That's got to be like a drone shot or a helicopter shot.
Yeah, probably like a drone or hell. Yeah, I would
Yeah,
assume. I assume these shots are easier with drones now, though.
probably. You're probably right. Um,
Like, I don't think a helicopter could fly this low or this close to. Maybe it's a zoomed
or
lens
at
or
this
something.
speed. Yeah, that's true. That's true. Yeah, yeah. The what's crazy about this? All these names we're seeing, like Fabian Wagner and the DP and stuff, and Patrick Tatopoulos, all these folks, and even the Junkie XL, who's the guy who does the soundtrack to this, the score. They all are like interacting with the Snyder Cut fandom right now, and I just imagine. I mean, it's like I know what it feels like. Because I met Tom Hardy twice, so like I know what it's like to dedicate your channel or your fandom to something, and then you get to meet those people that you're dedicating your show to. Um, Same thing. Like to see all these people, like my friend Dave, the film junkie, seeing him interview Zack Snyder, like I think 2 or 3 times now on his show in the past 2 months, is like I can't be more happy for a friend. Like I'm like that. Dave's been screaming for this movie for like 4 years, and now he can text message Zack Snyder. like how awesome, like how awesome is that?
Yeah, it's sort of weird how that like PR stuff ends up happening. Like you're like,
Well,
it's kind of cool when you sort of find that following and
sure. Oh yeah.
connect in that way.
I love Ben. Are you a Ben Affleck fan? I'm a huge fan.
He's fine. I don't have anything like for or against him. Like he doesn't make me want to see a movie, but he doesn't make me go, "Oh, Ben Affleck's in that."
He makes me want to see movies. Actually, most of the movies he's in, I only watch because of him. I actually became a big fan of Ben Affleck because of Kevin Smith. Kevin Smith used to cast Ben in his earlier movies.
Oh, I remember. Yeah, like I think he was in Dogma, right?
Yeah, he was in Dogma. He was in Chasing Amy. He was in
Mm-hmm.
Mallrats.
Mallrats. Yeah, he was the jerk in
He was
Mallrats.
the a-hole.
Yeah, the guy.
And Kevin
Uh,
knew. He said when he met him on Mallrats, he said I think he brought him in to audition for the main character, and it just the chemistry didn't work. So he was like, "All right, I'll make you the a-hole." He goes, but he liked Ben so much, he was like, "I'm doing like my next 100 movies with you." Actually, the reason Ben got the role for Daredevil is because of Kevin Smith,
oh,
because Kevin
really?
he was writing the Daredevil comic at the time, and the director asked Kevin like, "Hey, you're writing Daredevil. Like, who do you picture as Daredevil when you write your comics?" And he goes, "Ben Affleck." And he was like, "Really? Ben Affleck?" He goes, "Yeah, man. Ben Affleck should play Daredevil. He should play the shark in Jaws 5. Like, he should just play everybody." So this seems the same, right?
Pretty, but it's like way earlier, obviously.
Yeah. Yeah, it's taking place. His eyes look cool.
Oh, they're kind of like like Witcher eyes.
Yeah, yeah. They're like coral reef eyes. So for those who are watching, our time code is 10.5 minutes right now. Huh.
I wonder how.
Oh, nice. What's that?
I wonder how this holds up for
Meaning?
people who haven't seen like the first Justice League.
What do you mean? Well, how can it hold up? It's they're seeing it for the first time then.
Well, I mean, like, yeah. Well, I guess what I'm asking is, I wonder how people who haven't seen Justice League before will perceive this compared to people who have seen Justice League.
Oh, I see. Oh, that's interesting. Yeah. So there was something missing there, I think, because Batman, when he chapped the parademon in the beginning of the old one, he saw like a marking on the wall of like three boxes,
Yeah.
and didn't he also see that marking in that room with Aquaman? Like he looked over and saw like a painting of Aquaman reaching up for one of the boxes on the wall. I don't know why
Yeah, it
that
was
would
like
be
an
there.
Atlantean thing, like an Atlantean painting.
Right? Yeah. So yeah.
And there was also a scene missing where he walks slow motion with like rock music playing, isn't there?
Oh yeah, I think there was that. Wasn't it like White Stripes were playing or something?
Yeah, something like that.
What? Oh, that's cool. He just got Batman. He just got Commissioner Gordon.
Oh yeah, he just got disappeared.
Yeah, he turned and looked back and he's gone. That's actually pretty funny. Echo, calm down. Whoa. She's sniffing his clothes, bro?
Yeah, it's kind of weird.
Yeah, that's a little weird. I'm sure this song has some kind of meaning. I just, because there's no context for it, I'm just assuming it's they made a song about him because he helps them. So he's like a god to them.
Something like that. It's kind of a long singing.
Yeah, that was a lot of singing and a clothes sniffing, which is interesting.
Oh, doggy.
I will say another thing I didn't mention before, but I should have. I think maybe minus Jesse Eisenberg's acting choices as Lex Luthor, I would say um, Zach is really great at casting these movies. Um,
Henry
like,
Cavill is a great Superman. I really do
yeah,
think he's
yeah,
an amazing choice.
that's why I want more of them. Like, even though there's choices they make creatively in the first movie that I don't like, he's got a presence. Like, I like watching the guy.
Yeah, he looks like Superman in the suit.
Certainly looks like Super. He looks so much like Superman that he makes a bad Clark Kent.
Yeah.
Because he looks too much like Superman. Uh, um, what's his name? The guy who plays Alfred. Uh,
Alfred.
no, the actor.
Alfred.
Yeah, his name's Alfred. Alfred plays Alfred.
Alfred Alfredson.
Jeremy something. He's
Piven.
awesome. No, not Piven. He's not Ari Gold. That would be a great take on Alfred. Ari
That
Gold.
Ari Gold is Alfred, or this guy is Ari Gold.
Where he's like Batman. He's they're like waxing intellectual or bantering back and forth, and then Ari just or Alfred just grabs Bruce's cell phone and goes and like throws it and says, "There's a fucking cab stand on Yucca."
Oh my god.
So in the previous cut of this movie, Lois was still working. I think she was like at the Daily Planet, and so I'm assuming she does here too. But she just wasn't working on any like big news stories. And I think there was like a scene between her and Martha. I wonder if that's still in this version. I feel like that was a reshoot, but I don't know. But Lois is a character I love in the comics, and she's one of those characters where they do stuff with her in these movies, but sometimes they do things with her like I'm not a big fan of. Like in Batman vs Superman, because I just rewatched the Ultimate Edition the other day. Like she like randomly or not randomly, she knows the spear of kryptonite is a threat, so she picks it up and throws it into the water. But then later, when Doomsday shows up, no one's talking to her through radio, no one's communicating anything to her. She just instinctively goes, "Oh, they probably need the kryptonite spear to fight that monster." And I'm like, how the fuck would she know that? So she dives into the water to get it, and then she gets trapped under the rocks because of the building falls apart. And I'm just like, that's what you did with Lois in this scene? Like
Yeah, you literally had to make her figure out something for her to do.
Right. And they made her just do something stupid. And I was like,
yeah, where it was like, throw the spear in the water.
Right.
Go get the spear.
Well, the thing is, I wouldn't mind if she threw the spear in the water and then she went and did something else. And then they were like, Lois, get the spear. Like, okay, then that's something, you know. But they don't do that. What? Whoa.
Oh.
Yeah. What is this?
This is probably the scene with Diana where she saves all the people.
Oh yeah. 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 Okay.
She's all Wonder Woman-y and runs around faster than
Right.
bullets.
Right. Oh yeah. Okay. Cool.
That's such a nice building.
Yeah. No shit. I wonder what. I'm thinking it's in. I'm guessing it's in London, but um.
Yeah, it
I'd
looks
like
like
to know.
a UK thing.
Well, I think the exterior was. I think that's where Diana like lives. I think.
Yeah.
Yeah. Um.
Yeah, line them up. I remember all the kids.
Oh yeah. Okay. Yeah. So the other version, I guess, just cut right to this, huh?
Yeah,
Uh,
it didn't have like the intro of them taking
yeah.
the building.
Gotcha. Hmm. Geez, dead kids, man. Come on now.
Yeah, it's definitely London.
Yeah. SFO. Yeah. Okay. All right. Guy's voice sounds familiar.
Wonder if it's Benedict Cumberbatch.
What? No, was he in Snatch? Was that black guy in Snatch?
I don't know
You
that.
can you can park a jumbo jet in there, Tyrone. I think that's the same guy. I
She's
just I
standing on
watched.
the statue.
Yeah, I did a Guy Ritchie marathon recently, so I feel like that sounded like him.
I saw The Gentleman and liked it.
Oh yeah. Oh, so this guy what? So he doesn't even want to negotiate. He just wants to blow everyone the fuck up.
Yeah.
What
I
for?
never understand why people put minute timers on their bombs.
Yeah, just make it 10 seconds. Like,
Yeah, like why? Like some of them were like 25 minutes until explosion, and you're like, what? Are you gonna watch an episode of The Simpsons before you die? Like
yes. Simpsons did it.
Simpsons did.
Stalling the police. Wait, so I that's the one thing I always struggle with is it's hard for me to write characters like this because I don't know what their I mean, I understand their motivation is just like we're just gonna blow up 4 city blocks and ourselves, but what for? Like
Just like terrorism.
just to do it. Yeah, I know. I mean, I can't understand the mentality. So characters like that are hard for me to write. Um, wow, that's cool. Is she dodging bullets on your screen?
Yeah, she's
Whoa,
dodging bullets.
she's fast as holy shit. Whoa, did you see her hands? Like, God dang. Oh, I think his brain smashed against the wall. There was like a red spot on the wall when his head hit it.
Yeah, this Wonder Woman action looks way better than like 1984 Wonder Woman
Oh
action.
yeah, we don't. Yeah, I guess we can talk about that here and there, but I'm not a big fan of 1984.
I wasn't. Yeah, this looks a lot better in terms of
The action.
Yeah.
Yeah, she was insanely quick. That was awesome.
Yeah, I thought that looked pretty cool.
Oh man, I don't know. You kind of like bum rush him. Bum rush him now. He's got no weapon. Bum rush him.
Yeah, like
Oh
that
no!
seems to be the. He's
now.
gonna just grab another one, guys.
He had to like pick that gun up and load it.
Yeah, you're like, what were you guys doing, just sitting there? Like, are humans that helpless?
Well, it's like a bunch of old men and kids, I guess, but still.
They're not that old. Yeah,
Yeah, but they look like portly politician types. Like they're not gonna make it over there in time.
they should be at least like covering the kids.
Yeah. So damn. So she's like Flash. Like she's got the speed of Hermes. Damn. Damn. I remember something like that in the Joss version, but I don't know if it was this like detailed.
Elaborate.
Ooh. God dang. Weren't there kids in there? Or are they
It
all
was a directional blast.
okay? I'm okay, fair enough. But wouldn't they be deaf now? Like
Directional blast.
the blast, sure, but like sound travels. Like what the fuck are you talking about?
Oh, is that guy dead?
He's just a hat.
They got vaporized.
He's just his hat survived the blast. He can stand up. Don't worry, this building won't crumble on us. Oh.
This wasn't in the Joss version.
No, it wasn't. Why would Joss cut something like that? That's kind of a sweet moment.
Maybe it was a time thing, or maybe that's something they added in.
No, you added into this?
Yeah.
No. They only shot one scene to add to this movie.
Oh, really?
That's it. And I know what scene it is. It's definitely not that scene. Yeah,
Maybe it was cut for time.
Yeah, I mean, I'm gonna assume that. Like, it's weird some of the stuff so far that's different. Mainly right now, it's a pacing difference.
Yeah.
Like, it's just scenes are in different spots. But
some of them, like that Wonder Woman scene was longer.
it was longer, yeah, because there was that intro leading up to it. The actual fight seemed longer too. Oh my god. I would trade trade spots with Steve Trevor in a heartbeat the day he landed on this island. And then all of these women would just be repulsed by me. They'd be like, "Oh, this is what men look like now." I'm like, I'm kind of a man. They're like, "No, you're not."
I have mannish qualities.
Yeah, I'm lumpy.
I'm lumpy.
Some men are lumpy, I guess.
Potatoes are masculine.
Potatoes. Like, oh, we found a man. He's hardly a man. Looks like he's Irish. Like, hey,
potato-esque.
hey, that's not cool. It's the day after St. Patty's Day.
I totally forgot about St. Patty's Day.
Yesterday, not me, man. I wore my Green Lantern shirt, and then I had a Justice League shirt on for a little bit too.
Totally slipped my mind.
Yeah.
It always slips my mind. I was in Japan one year for St. Patrick's Day, and we were just walking down the street, and there was like a pop-up bar. There's all St. Patrick's Day, and I was like, "What's this doing here?" And
that's
like,
awesome.
It's St. Patrick's Day, and I was like, "Oh shit!"
They were celebrating Patty's Day in Japan.
Yeah, it was like a Jameson pop-up bar.
That is freaking cool.
It was pretty cool, yeah.
I like that. I thought that was just something like Americans kind of pulled from, but that's neat.
Japan is a big drinking country, I'm pretty sure.
Them and the Irish would get along.
What's that comic book, Wayward? Has a Irish Japanese girl as the main character.
Makes for a good mix. There's I think it's funny. There's some similarities in those cultures. I mean, I'm Irish, but I've always loved Japanese culture. But I think it's because of there's some similarities to our pasts, somewhat, not a ton, but like if you listen to Celtic lore, it will remind you of some of Japanese lore and vice versa.
Steppenwolf looks better.
Oh yeah, he does. This is cool.
This action scene.
Yeah, but I think this was in the other version.
Were the
Um,
parademons in there?
I think so.
I thought it was just Steppenwolf for
Was
some
it just
reason.
Step? Maybe he looks fucking awesome.
He looks way better.
Yeah, yeah. There's like things moving on him.
Yeah, he's got like more texture to him. The
Yeah,
lights.
yeah.
It's got like a
Oh,
shiny armor.
oh, look at that. Oh, oh, damn. What happened to them? I think they're shooting like whatever that hellfire is from Apocalypse. Oh yeah, it burned right through her. Holy shit.
It's like plasma.
Yeah, it's like, but it like went right through her. I got to be honest with you though, these Amazons, I understand they're tough, but I think they would be tougher with like better weapons. They shooting bow and arrows.
Yeah, it's sort of like you are defending against like interdimensional traveling monsters.
Right. Like the swords are effective, but like,
But like arrows?
yeah, that's weird to me. Like, I don't know. Cool.
This is again a longer scene. Like there wasn't,
Yeah,
I think, a thing of her saving them and
that
getting
girl
held
is
down by a
dope,
parademon.
man. Damn, these girls are tough as shit. Like they're built like, god dang, man. Look at that. Are you seeing her holding the thing up?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. Oh, that's awesome. Oh, oh, they stayed behind. Oh, cool. Wow. Oh,
Now,
wow.
I mean, why do you stop? You gotta keep going. You gotta know that.
I guess so. Yeah.
Like, oh, I'm just gonna embark here for a minute. It's like, nah, man, you got like this is not. This is very time sensitive.
Right. Right. Well, is she stopping because she just left a bunch of people in there to die? Maybe.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
all the more reason why you need to keep going.
Fair enough. Wow. That's a cool shot. Was that? I don't know if that was in the
I
original.
don't think that was in the original. That's something that they could have added and not really called it reshooting, is like added more effects. Because obviously Steppenwolf looks a lot better.
Yeah, they certainly. Well, they. I think they just finished. Yeah, I mean, they could have definitely added stuff. You're right, but I think they just finished what was there.
Yeah, they put more time into it. And
Yeah, I don't think they redesigned him. I think that was what he was always supposed to look like. Um, but then,
I
but
don't
then,
remember that collapsing into the sea like it did either.
no, no, no. That you're right. That something like that, I guess, could be new. But then again, she's filmed standing on the edge like that, so maybe it was always intended. Yeah, I'm gonna guess that was always intended. That's cool though. That's a great God. That's a great shot. Like you know, your brain knows. Okay, this is like she's not really standing on a mountaintop. She's standing on a set with a green screen, but that just looks so damn convincing.
Yeah, it's a pretty good shot.
Like that shot there. Oh, uh oh.
Your sacrifice was for nothing.
Yep. Bang. Dang, dude. Hey, look at that. The arrow. I mean, it looks like it's sticking out of him.
Yeah.
Nope, those are just his spiky things. Oh nope, he got speared. Wow, one handed through a horse, bro. One handed. That's so cool.
Ooh, dodged it.
There you go. Oh yeah, he's just letting the arrows hit him, man. He's not even.
Does not care.
Nope, not even phased by them. Whoa. Oh, she dead.
Oh yeah, that was like a streak of blood.
God, yeah, that was a lot of blood. Wow. He does look cool. The McFarlane toys are supposed to go up for pre-order today. I was waiting for them to announce it this morning. They haven't yet, so I'm like, oh, it's probably available now, and they'll probably be sold out by the time our first break comes up. But they have a Steppenwolf toy and a Darkseid toy.
Oh, she's like, I'm
Oh,
sacrificing all of this.
I love that. Oh, was she made of lightning? Did you see, like she like was glowing, like bursted apart?
Yeah, I think that was like his hammer
Oh,
hitting
his
her, or
hammer. Oh,
his
that.
axe, or whatever.
Oh shit! Damn. Yeah, he's pretty hardcore. This guy. His voice is different than the other version too. Oh hell yeah, dude! Oh, what a bitch!
Yeah, he's like, peace.
He's like, I got what I came for. That's cool. Wow. All right, that was pretty impressive. All those arrows going at him, that was kind of cool looking.
Yeah.
She dead? Oh no, she's still breathing. Okay. Oh nope, she died. She died. A horse fell on her. She died. She probably took the brunt of his, because he shoulder ram them off the horse.
Something like that.
Yeah, she probably took the brunt of that, and then a horse landing on you. That just make her a centaur now.
That's really what you need to do.
That's the answer, obviously.
What's your time code, real quick?
3622, 3623, 24, 25, 3626.
God, I'm like,
You fall behind?
I'm a little ahead now. I was behind, and I was trying to get ahead.
Oh.
I think I'm closer now.
Well, so that was in the original version too. Oh, part two, guys. Part two, The Age of Heroes.
The Age of Heroes.
Well, I like that imagery, that playground. It's like looks like an
Yeah.
atom bomb went off there.
And then Steppenwolf right there.
Yeah. Well, I you know me, I'm a fan of contrast. So a giant monster in a blown up playground, that's not exactly contrast. uh, a fully healed playground with a giant monster in it would be cool contrast. But I've already discussed before that Zack isn't always, in my opinion, is not always great at the contrast. Huh. See my worth.
Again.
Again, yeah.
Oh, Gillette, the best Batman can get.
Jeremy Irons, that's his name. God, it took me so long to figure that out.
Oh, I was convinced it was Piven. What a jerk Batman is to make Alfred call him Master Wayne.
I don't know if he makes him. I think
I'd be uncomfortable. Like if I had someone who worked for me and they called me Master, I'd be like, please don't. I
please
don't
never.
want to be called Master. Like that's so cringy.
Batman. It's interesting. I feel like Batman's one of those characters where whatever you're whatever you're inclined to do or be however you're inclined to behave, he seems like someone who just puts up with it. Because otherwise he would kill Joker. So I think he's just like, oh, you're that? Okay. Or you say that? Okay.
It's like I guess I'll accept it. I have no other
He's
course.
like, I guess I don't
You
give.
whatever.
No, but I'm with you. It's like, hey, please don't call me that. It'd be cool though. For contrast, is if Alfred calls that to somebody else, like Mistress Diana, or something like that.
Something
maybe,
like that. Like
yeah,
Mr.
maybe
Cog.
one of them go, please don't say that.
Like, ew. Yeah, like if he said it to Flash, and Flash was like, "Ew, no."
Ew, no. You're not my daddy.
You're not my daddy.
Joe Morton. I love Joe Morton. Are you a fan of Terminator 2?
Yeah, I like Terminator 2.
He plays the guy who creates Skynet.
Oh.
Dyson. He's the guy who's like at the end. He's like, and he's got his finger on the button to blow it all the building up.
And that's him.
That's him, man. Legend. Great actor. Was that guy mopping a grate?
Yeah, that's what I was. That's what I was wondering as well. I was like, "Is that?"
It took me a minute to process the sound.
Is that just a bunch of holes in the?
I was like, did I?
What's being cleaned? It's like, what's the point of a mop? What are you sopping up?
Right. Now it's one thing if that was a grate at the end and he was mopping stuff into the grate to drain, whatever, but seems silly to me. Yeah, look, that whole floor is a grate. How do you sterilize something that has layers? Like normally when you're in a sterile environment, it's clean. Like there aren't no openings in the ground except for ventilation.
Yeah, it seems like I feel like you'd have a graded floor, like I don't know, like if you worked in like a butcher shop or like a meat processing plant where extraneous things were constantly hitting the floor.
Yeah, but you definitely wouldn't want you'd want to pick that up. You wouldn't want it to go into a grate and then fester down there.
Well, you'd like clean out the grates, but it would be a way to keep like things from getting slippery, like a ton of blood falling on the floor from like
I see.
A cow.
Yeah. Oh, a back like a butcher shop. Yeah, I gotcha.
That's what I mean.
Yeah.
But they're in like a chemical factory.
It's like a lab.
I don't think you're spilling that many things, or you would hopefully not. Maybe it's like a safety precaution thing.
In the hallway, though, I don't know.
Yeah, the hallway is a weird. You think it'd be in the labs?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Is like,
like the hallway is a weird place for a graded floor.
That's all I'm saying. Maybe there's a reason. Maybe I don't know why I'm so fixated on it.
It's just a weird thing you notice, and you're just like,
what?
What's with that?
Right.
Like that's not how science works.
Watch there be like a perfectly good reason for it, and we're just two idiots.
Yeah, we're just not smart enough to know. We don't know enough about labs.
Right. Yeah. That's fine. It's true. I don't. I woke up in one once, but that was it. So this, I think this was in the other version too. I mean, I'm not saying, and I'm not, when I say it's in the other version, I'm not giving Joss credit. Obviously, it's Zach's footage, but that's all I'm trying to point. I'm interested in watching this to see what Zach did, because in the previous version, some scenes I could tell, and some I feel like I couldn't tell.
How would she know if she hit that?
Well, I think, doesn't she say like carry my work? She like whispers something, like praying that it gets to its destination.
Oh, it's like a magic thing.
I think.
Well, this is Paris, because that was the Louvre.
Gal Gadot here is from Alex and I's other favorite franchise, Fast and the Furious.
Is she in those?
Yeah, that's Han's girlfriend, and or she's not Han's girlfriend. She's like the badass chick in the movie, but Han like hooks up with her. She gets like thrown off a plane in like
in 5, yeah, 5 or 6 or whatever.
Alex worked on one of the Fast and the Furious movies.
7. I still haven't seen it.
Was that the one where Paul Walker passed away, or was that the one before?
Yeah, I think that was the one. I worked on the Race Wars scene, which
right
was
out
a
in the
terrible
desert.
name for that.
Race Wars.
Yeah, it's just terrible because there were big banners and stuff that said
Race
Wars, and I was just like,
yikes! I'm not going to do too well here.
It was just such an odd choice for like a racing event thing.
Did he call him Ryan? Ryan Choi. Hey, that's the Atom.
Really?
Ryan Choi is he's one of the Atoms in the comics. He shrinks.
Maybe they're setting him up for his own sequel.
Maybe. Zack Snyder directs the Atom.
Yeah, I like that. It's kind of like the Ant-Man of the DC universe.
Why is he calling him Ryan? Like, don't doctors like prefer Dr. Choi? Wouldn't he be like, hey, I'm Dr. Choi. Fuckface, stop calling me Ryan.
Maybe they're just that familiar.
I mean, I'm sure.
Maybe they play poker together on the weekends. You don't know.
Maybe they both run the lab together and they're on a first name basis. That makes sense. I'm so used to in things people call each other doctor. Which ship is this Zod's ship?
I don't know. I can't remember if it's Zod's ship or.
Because Superman
would have to be.
Yeah, Superman had a ship in Man of Steel in the Arctic, but does Zod take that and use it? I can't remember now.
I can't either. You watched the movies more recently than I did.
I know. I told you I don't rely on that. I watched Man of Steel a whole 4 days ago. That's like an eternity.
What happened in 4 days?
Dude, a lot did happen. I was playing Resident Evil this morning. Like, oh, they have it. I mean, it makes sense because he was created from it, but. Huh. That's weird. That context of that scene completely changes, because in the Jost version, he calls his dad the monster. He said, remember, he says like, yeah, that's where the monster was created. And his dad goes, son, you're not a monster. And he's like, I wasn't talking about me. So that's weird. This time he's like referring to himself as the monster. Look at those heels, man. She's got white heels on.
Yeah, you think they would get dirty in like a soot-riddled, ruined floor.
She probably doesn't care.
No, she doesn't. She's probably got Amazon money. She just sells an artifact every 10 years for like $40 million.
Right. Whoa! She landed in those heels?
Yeah, isn't that crazy?
You see that?
Yeah.
Damn. You go, girl.
Go girl.
That's actually my New Year's resolution. I have to. I
To
tell
go
myself.
girl.
I say no. My New Year's resolution is to stop saying "you go, girl" to myself in the mirror
Oh. Why?
because it's a Zach Galifianakis joke I just stole.
Oh, I thought it was a positive affirmation.
Yeah.
I was like, why shouldn't you be positive about yourself? You do go girl.
You do go, girl.
This wasn't in.
No, I was gonna say this is all
Yeah.
new.
This is all different to me.
Oh, I thought that was like the same word written all over, and I was like, did someone who archived this have a stutter? Da 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 enemies. Not trying to make fun of anybody. Just
Yeah, could
saying.
you imagine if someone had to write like that in like really complex calligraphy?
All I'm saying is, thank God I wasn't in a past life someone who had to transcribe or document anything, because I screw up words all the damn time. So
Yeah.
they were like, the what happened? He rose at? How did he come back from the dead after 3 days? I don't know, man. I'm just writing the thing. I don't know what it says.
It's like, yeah, I'm just a glorified secretary.
I'm just a glorified secretary from Galilee. All right.
Galileo. Oh.
Jesus.
I almost put my name as Alex Wonder Woe Man.
Well, we got 2 other streams today. I saw yours that you were the Dog King, and so I went with a David Bowie reference, and I called myself the Disco King.
Yeah, everyone loves David Bowie, and the first time I heard about him was when he died, and I feel bad about that, but also there's a lot of people to know in the world.
Yeah, I guess so. Not all of them make a hit record after hit record, but
But
yeah,
like there's a lot of hit records. Like I haven't heard every hit record, Seek.
fair enough.
Have you heard every
Oh,
hit
that's a
record?
cool shot. Of course I have. I mean, I'm 480 years old.
Okay, yeah, I
That's a
forgot.
great shot there. He's just
Like
standing on top of the
name your
boat.
top 10 Elvis songs, Seek.
Oh, was it In the Ghetto? That's a really good one, actually. I don't know if it's my favorite, but it's a damn good one.
He just dumps him on the table. I like that Aquaman drinks whiskey.
I think Aquaman drinks anything.
I was like, ah, I'm gonna take the bottle, and the bartender's like, yeah, I get it. That's fine. You
That's
take
fine.
that bottle.
I mean, look how we're all dressed, and look how you're dressed. Do whatever
I'm
the fuck you want.
I'm not objecting to you taking the bottle. This is the slow mo scene, but
Oh, it
done
is.
so much different.
Yeah, what a weird music choice for that. I kind of liked the rock and roll music.
I kind of did too.
Yeah, it completely changes the energy of the scene, like completely.
Yeah, it's so odd.
Look at that drawing. That's amazing.
Why does
Wow.
he take the shirt off? Why does he even bother putting it on?
Why do you wear it to this place?
Yeah, like, what were we gonna walk in there in your soaking wet shirt, and they were versus no shirt, and they're gonna be like, "Hey, sir, get out. We have a rule about clothing here."
I'm listening to the lyrics of this song. They're hilarious. They're so on the nose. There is a kingdom, and this is the king. And you're just like, thanks, song.
I think if they played all the slow mo scenes in normal speed, this movie would be like 2 hours 20 minutes.
You think that short? That's pretty. Yeah. Probably shave a good 20 minutes off the movie.
And that would be an interesting thing to see, like how much that would shave it off if you put everything at like a normal speed, took out all the slow mo.
I didn't mind the slow mo in that scene too much if you're like getting a moment with the character, and I guess in the
I
other
don't mind the slow mo.
in the Joss version, he was more of like a fuck yeah, I'm a badass brother. You know, like he was like that kind. He doesn't really so far he hasn't come across like that in this version. So his demeanor is different. Like
Yeah, he kind of feels more like a loner and less like a hey
like a
man,
Wolverine of the,
like he felt like a frat boy almost before.
right. But I kind of found that interesting because I don't like Aquaman. so I was kind of like, all right, a frat boy Aquaman. I could get into that.
This is definitely an interesting take on Aquaman. I feel like they needed to make him manlier. Like I don't know
Sure.
why they felt that, but they like gave him a beard and they made him like the Dothraki king and all these tattoos and stuff. And he just
Right.
looks nothing like comic book Aquaman, who's like a blonde guy, who's like super clean shaven.
Yeah. But I like him like this because if you think about it, he's the king of Atlantis. His name's Arthur. He's a modern day King Arthur. I'm just
Yeah.
like, well, yeah, he should have long hair and a beard, actually.
Give him a round table.
Yeah, fuck yeah, that's what they need to do in Aquaman 2. They need to give him a round table.
There needs to be so many circular tables.
I guess he'll be sitting at a round table when he's a Justice League member.
I mean, you don't know. They could subvert your expectations and put corners on those tables.
I love Willem Dafoe. He's awesome. I don't remember if he had long hair in the Aquaman movie or not. This looks amazing, like that.
The
sequence.
water flowing around them, yeah.
Yeah. It's neat. It's a neat power. I guess that's one of those things you have to figure out when you're doing these movies, like with the Aquaman. You're like, how do we get him to talk underwater and it just looks normal? And
Yeah.
that's a great way to do it. Is just take the water away for a little bit. The other thing you can do is make him psychic, but
Yeah, give him some sort of communicative power.
yeah. Desaad. Oh man, are we going to see Desaad? Cool.
It said there would be new villains.
Yeah. That's cool. He looks cool.
Oh, I guess.
Oh, it's like a hologram of him.
It's like all molten lava-y.
Yeah, that's neat looking. He like came from the rock or something. That's neat. So it's the same voice actor, I think, that does Steppenwolf's voice. They just did something different to his voice.
Feel like a different modulation.
Yeah. He sounds like he's speaking from the chest.
Staticky.
Yeah. Like it hurts to talk almost.
Yeah, like he's kind of whispery.
Yeah. Oh, I like that. Yeah, Desaad sounds really cool.
They almost sound like they're talking through kazoos.
That's great. He definitely sounds like a kazoo.
Yeah, he sounds a lot like a kazoo. That's what made me think of it.
Jesus. You still owe us 50,000 planets. Could you imagine having that quota to redeem yourself?
Yeah, you're like, God damn, what a...
Look at his eyes. He's sad. Like he's like, oh, no lanterns. Um,
Why
he like,
wouldn't you pick like a bunch of empty worlds?
yeah,
Or like that don't have like developed civilizations? Because it seems like this seems like just the hardest place to take. Like there's so many people, there's
right.
heroes, lots of missiles.
Lots of missiles. Hmm.
Jeez, get over it. It was 80 years ago.
Well, I wonder. That's something that is in the Justice League version of the other one, where he like I think he brings up Steve Trevor's death to her and like use it to like push her. Um,
It's such a weird, I think, character thing for her. Like, I get that she loved Steve and will never forget him, but like, goddamn, it's almost been 100 years.
yeah, yeah. Oh, check this out. Wait a minute. Is that Ares? Is that like Zeus and Ares?
I don't know. I'm waiting to see more.
I think that was Ares' helmet that he wore at the end of Wonder Woman.
Oh, and there's the
Oh,
Atlantean
yeah, the
king.
Atlanteans on the Amazons.
Mm-hmm. I wonder if oh, this is probably where we'll see
Aw.
the lanterns.
I think I can't remember that actress's name, but I think she died in Wonder Woman. Oh, dude, Dark Side. Whoa, whoa, his chest. What is up with his chest?
Like the crater on it.
Yeah, damn. Huh. He did that with his hammer drop.
Yep, just one.
Damn. Wait, so this is what we saw in the Joss version. Like it's the same footage, but in Joss's that wasn't Darkseid. They made that Steppenwolf.
Yeah, they did.
Huh. So this failure of attacking Earth is Darkseid's failure? Doesn't really make him seem that formidable now, huh?
Yeah, that they kind of fought him off before.
Yeah, before there was even Superman.
Show me a Green Lantern.
Oh,
Oh, there we go.
howdy. Awesome.
Yeah, that's even more of a scene than we got before.
Yeah, because he was in the previous version, but he flew by in a second. I
Yeah.
think his name is Yelan Gur. In the comics, he was actually the protector of Earth realm, like 2,000 years ago. So he was the Hal Jordan of Earth, and like around 2000 BC. or I guess whenever this takes place.
Surprised you don't see the 300 Spartans here.
True, that'd be cool. Oh, Green Lantern, get him! Oh, damn! Where'd it go? Who'd it go pick? Dude. Yeah, so that must be Zeus. That's Diana's father, I guess, technically. So yeah, this got to be Ares. Look at that. Oh,
Look at all that blood.
Ares almost cut Darkseid in half.
Again, it looks kind of like, I don't want to compare it to things, but Thor driving a axe into Thanos.
Yeah, a little bit. Go for the head.
Yeah, but it does make Darkseid seem a lot less formidable.
I mean, Ares just took a chunk out of him, man.
Yeah, like,
but Ares is dead now. Like Wonder Woman killed him, so now I'm not so worried about Darkseid. I'm a little less worried about Darkseid now.
yeah, you're like, oh, he got kind of taken out by Ares, and then Ares got taken out by Wonder Woman, and now you got Wonder Woman and Superman and Cyborg and the Flash and Batman.
Why don't the Amazons have those arrows?
Yeah, like what the hell?
What the fuck? It took out that whole ship.
This is a giant explodey arrow.
That shot was badass with that woman. She was like, ah! She's like all fierce. That was a pretty cool shot. Like things
executing parademons.
It's like things exploding behind her. That was cool. Why even let them get away? Just start firing all those arrows you have.
Exploding arrows, yeah. Throw lightning at them.
Yeah, right. I mean, I guess maybe the explanation is that he wasn't Darkseid then. He was like, maybe he was. I mean, he was Darkseid, but maybe he wasn't like as powerful as he is now, Darkseid.
Well, that's.
But still, I feel like that still waters him down a little bit.
Yeah, like what did you do? Go home and do a bunch of push-ups?
Like this should have been Steppenwolf's failure, like it was in the Joss version, because then that explains why he comes back to Earth.
Maybe there's another reason why Steppenwolf failed.
True.
Maybe, I don't know, Steppenwolf got Darkseid's coffee order wrong.
Yeah. It's true. He's like, what? Your name's Darkseid. I thought you like your coffee dark.
He's like, no, cream and sugar.
I wanted a venti latte. I like how they're just like that, like this elaborate thing where a squid like unleashes it and they pull it up on a chain, and then they're just like, and it's just gonna go right here.
And here's it is.
No protection, just here you go.
In this room.
Yeah.
Why not like send him into space? Why not like fire it at the sun or something?
Yeah. Why not do anything with it other than just put it in a room?
I love how like all the like mythical cultures were like displaying it and building all these temples to house it, and the humans are like 4 feet deep. Like we dug a hole for an hour and a half.
Problem solved.
Throw it in there.
This will never come back to haunt us.
Nope. We are 200 yards into these woods. No one will ever find it. When in society would we ever need to dig more than 4 feet down?
If this was a Transformer movie, they would have made those knights the Knights of the Round Table.
Yeah.
Explained the Just League history goes back to King Arthur.
And Merlin was a Transformer.
Merlin was a dragon that transforms.
Yep.
Oh, screen black. All right, let's pause it. Boom, at 1 hour and 8 minutes, 42 seconds. Sweet. Awesome. So, all right, let's spend a few minutes just kind of giving our thoughts on part 1 and part 2. You go, man. What do you think so far?
Man, I'm waiting to kind of see where it goes. I feel like it's been an hour of kind of setup, and we haven't really started to get into, like, it just feels like a lot of scenes right now, and I'm waiting for the characters to start to come together a little more. We're getting a little Batman and Diana together, but it's sort of disparate.
Right, like we've met. Who have we met? We met Cyborg and Aquaman so far.
We've
right?
met Cyborg and Aquaman and Wonder Woman, and
right.
we haven't seen Batman as Batman yet, I don't think.
No, he's just been Bruce so far.
Yeah, he's just been Bruce.
Which is different because the Justice version, he would have already been.
First scene is him Batman.
First scene is him as Batman. Yeah, that's right. Also, they have that terrible opening credit sequence where they're playing that Leonard Cohen song, and it's like all in slow-mo. Mm-hmm. And they have that newspaper that says like David Bowie's dead and so is Superman. Did they go back to their home planets? And you're like, what the fuck? Like,
yeah, it kind of dates it. It's like it makes it very topical to a time that's slightly past topical now.
Yeah. So I wonder if that was shot by Joss because it was all slow motion. I wonder if it was shot by Joss and just he was like, it's not relevant anymore, or if it was a Snyder thing. I don't know.
Yeah.
All right. Well, what else? Like, so yeah, I agree. I think so far it is. I mean, of course, I felt like it was probably going to be the first 2 parts, maybe even 3 parts are going to be set up because you don't have your typical third act structure with a 4-hour movie. Or if you do, we're still in the first act technically.
Yeah, I would have hoped we were a little further along. I'd like to be a little closer to Superman coming back. I was kind of hoping Superman would be back by the 2-hour mark.
Okay.
And I don't know if that's going to happen.
True. We got 50 minutes before we're at the 2-hour mark. So
yeah.
Hopefully a lot happens. You're right, though. It does seem like a lot of scenes. So far, I don't really see, like, I think Lois and Martha Kent had a scene, and that just felt like, oh, remember these characters exist in the movie.
Yeah, it's sort of just keeping them in your mind almost. Like,
right.
Hey, they're part of the cast as well, and we'll get to them, but we got other stuff we're doing. I mean, so far, like, it just, I don't know, it feels like a bunch of scenes in the first hour.
Fair enough. Yeah, I'm that way too. I would say, like, Man of Steel and Batman vs. Superman, I think, had more interesting first hours to those movies than this, but I am still locked in. Like, I'm not disengaged.
Yeah, I'm not either. And I mean, the same way, like, when you watched Endgame, the first kind of act of that movie is just sort of talking and setup. And
Sure. It's true.
And I don't know, I'm trying to treat it sort of like that, where it's like, oh, we're kind of seeing how it builds, and
well, that
looks very nice. I like how it looks.
Yeah, well, they ended at least part 2 on an action scene, which was awesome.
Yeah.
And we got to see a Green Lantern. What up?
So far, it's very visually story-driven. There isn't a ton of dialogue, I feel like.
I felt like that sometimes with Batman v Superman, especially the extended cut of it. Awesome. Well, so how long you want to take a break for? Like 10, 15 minutes or 20 minutes?
Yeah, I just want to go to the bathroom, maybe get a quick snack. That's about it.
Okay, cool. So guys and gals who are watching later, thank you so much for tuning in. Let us know what your opinions are on the first 2 parts of the movie. Like I said, we're an hour, 8 minutes, and 42 seconds in. If you want to set your time codes, and that's what we're going to come back to in the next episode. But before we start the next episode, we'll do our thoughts on Wonder Woman and the previous version of Justice League. We'll talk about those in the next episode. So, Alex, thanks so much. And everyone else, make sure you like, share, subscribe, all that fun stuff. And we'll see you